If God is there with His Shaktis and we are taking the names, then why is the benefit not coming? The confusion arises because we are given the example of Ajamil. The Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, at the time of death, one who takes my name plus remembers me will attain the supreme abode. This death is such a painful experience. It is as if the scriptures say 2,000 scorpions are biting you at the same time. So who will remain conscious when death comes? He says that all the Shaktis, God is sitting inside His name. Take the name of God. That is the Kirtan that we do. This Kirtan is called yuga dharma. Krite yadhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhai dwapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. The Bhagavatam says, in every age there is the most effective sadhana for that age. Just like if somebody has got fever, you give paracetamol. If somebody has got malaria, you give chloroquine. Now somebody has got malaria and you give paracetamol, it will not bring down the malaria. So in the age of Satyug, people were such big tapasvis. There was one style of sadhana. That was the yuga dharma. And what is the nature of the age of Kali? People's chitta vritti is disturbed, the environment is polluted, lifespan is small, health doesn't support much, memory is weak, as today Kripaluji Maharaj was saying in his lecture. So what is the simple means in this age of Kali? You do Kirtan. Hare namaiva 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 mama jivanam kalau nasteva 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 gatiranyatha. The Skanda Puran says that in this Kali Yuga there is no other way, no other way, no other way except the process of Kirtan. So all the scriptures have glorified Kirtan. Sarva dharma bahirбhuta sarva paparachastatha muchyate nata sandeho vishnor namanu kirtanat. The Adhyatma Ramayana says, avikari va sarva doshaika bhajanaha paramesha padam yati ramanu kirtanat. This is the Valmiki Ramayana. So some people ask that do the Vedas also talk about Kirtan or only the Puranas are talking about Kirtan? It's a good question because the Vedas are the ultimate authority. Is there any reference to Kirtan in the Vedas? There is lots of reference. The Rig Veda says, tam tva grinami tava samatavyan kshayantamasya rajasah parake. O Lord, we tiny souls of this material realm, do your Nam Sankirtan, your Gun Sankirtan. Please bestow your graceful energy upon us. This is the Rig Veda saying, Upasate Gayata Naraha. That Yash Suchak name, all famous name of the Lord, sing it. Do the Kirtan. And the Yajurved says, Taya Nastanva Shantamaya Giri Shanta Bhichakashihi. O Lord, when we sing your Kirtan, please reside in the sound and bestow your grace. Upaprayanto adhvaram mantram voche magnaye. That Lord who hears even from far, do the Kirtan of His names and gunas. Trataram Indram Avitaram Indram Have Have. If you do the Kirtan of the Lord, you will cross over the ocean of life and death. These are all Ved mantras that I am telling you. Kasyanunam katamasya amritanam anamehe charudevasya nam. The question is placed in Rig Ved. Whose Kirtan should we do? Agner vayam prathamasya amritanam anamehe charudevasya nam. Do Kirtan of the Supreme Divine Personality and nobody else. And if you come to the Samaved, it is all Kirtan of God, the Yashogan. So in the Vedas, there's a lot of description about Kirtans. And the Puranas, I told you, the Ramcharitmanas, Ehi Kali Kalana Sadhana Duja, Yoga Yagya Japa Tapa Vrata Puja, Rama hi Sumeriya, remember, Gaiya Rama hi Singh, Santat Suniya Rama Gunagrama hi here. Chant here, remember. That's what Kripaluji Maharaj said. Shri Krishnam Smaranam Manasa Vachasa Sarasa Kirtanam Shrotrena Shravanam Nityam Tridha Bhaktir Gariyasi. Now, that's all very well. There is a problem in this regard, which Kripaluji Maharaj is referring to. What is the problem? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nam Namakari Bhaudha Nija Sarva Shaktas Tatrar Pita Niyamitaha Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivami Drishamiha Janina Nuragaha. He said, O Shri Krishna, you have got infinite names. And in each name you are sitting with all your Shaktis. And there are no rules for taking your names. But I am not benefiting from your names. Why not? If God is there with His Shaktis and we are taking the names, then why is the benefit not coming? It means there is some vidhi, some way to take the names that needs to be understood. The confusion arises because we are given the example of Ajamil. Mriyamano harenama grinan putropacharitam ajamilopyagadhama kim punah shraddhaya grinan. Ajamil had a son called Narayan. So Ajamil, at the time of death, remembered his son Narayan and he went straight to Golok. So using this example, scholars have said that in taking the name of God, there is no vidhi. Jo khetan mein jamiye ulte seedhe bija. Just take the name Ajnanad Athava Jnanad Uttama Shloka Namayat Sankirtidamagam Punso Dehe Deho Yathanala. You just say Ram, man, you'll go straight to Golok. So how many times do you need to take the name to get the ultimate destination? Tulsidas says not many times. Jasu Naam Sumirat Ikabara Utarahu Nara Bhava Sindhu Apara. Just say once Ram, you will cross over the ocean of life and death. Now, let us all think, have we never taken the name of God? We have taken it so many times. Then why have we not crossed over the ocean of life and death? And how did Ajamil go straight to Golok? Just by saying Narayan. We are also saying Narayan, nothing is happening. So is there something wrong out here? And name of God we have taken innumerable times in innumerable lifetimes. You see, in our Indian culture, people's names are God's names. Supposing you have a neighbor whose name is Ram Gopal. So you say, "Arey bhai Ram Gopal." So you took God's name twice, Ram and Gopal. And our scriptures say this Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha are also names of God. Akaro Vasudeva. A means Sri Krishna. U means Shankarji, Umapati. So all the letters are Brahma Swarup. Kam Brahma, Kham Brahma, Yadeva Kam, Tadeva Kham. So whatever you say, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, anything, it is all using these Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. That means all that you are saying is names of God. And even if you say in Russian or English, it still comes under Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. So all these are names of God that you are taking. Even a Gnostic who says, I don't believe in Ram, he's taken Ram now. He should go straight to Golok now. How come we have taken the name and we did not go to Golok? And how come Ajamil just said Narayan and his seat got reserved? And the second example that creates confusion is of Ratnakar, Valmiki Ji Maharaj. Ulta naam japat jag jana Valmiki bhai brahma samana. He did not even say Ram Ram. All he said was Mara Mara. Now by saying Mara Mara, he became a saint. Now what to speak out of people who say Ram Ram? Isn't there a contradiction here? On one side, the scriptures are saying that you don't have bhav, kubhav, anakh alasu, nam japat mangala disidasu. Say with bhav, say without bhav, all 10 directions will be purified. And on the other side, we find that we are saying the Ram Nam and even one direction is not getting purified. And yet we find that Ajamil got the fruit. And Ratnakar also got the fruit. We need to resolve this contradiction. Is there a vidhi in saying the Ram Nam? If there is, then how did Ajamil get without the vidhi? If there is not, then why are we not benefiting? Let us first of all visit Ajamil. The story of Ajamil goes like this, that he had been very pious and very devoted in his youth. But subsequently he fell to evil ways and he became a big sinner. He became so notorious that in the nearby village, if the child was not listening, the mother would say, drink your milk, otherwise Ajamil will come. However, he met some Mahatmas, and those Mahatmas' association revived in him the inspiration. Oh, I would like to again recover my sadhana. So he asked them for a way out. And they said that you name your last child as Narayan. Now he became attached to Narayan. So finally, when he was about to die, his mind naturally went to Narayan and he called out Narayan. So many Kathavachaks say he went straight to Golok, but that is not the fact. The Bhagavatam says he fainted unconscious. Then he saw that scene. From one side the Yamdoots came and from the other side the Vishnudoots came. There was a discussion on dharma between the Yamdoots and the Vishnudoots. Ajamil heard it all. And hearing that, he remembered, oh God, I had been bestowed so many blessings, I squandered them all. He repented. So he did not go to Golok, he came back to consciousness. And after that, he went to Haridwar and did sadhana there for 1 year. So the Bhagavatam says, Ganga dwar mupeyaya tyakta sarvanubandhana Ajamil left his household and he went to Haridwar. Even today in Haridwar, you will find up in the mountain, there's a Ajamil ka tila there, where he practiced austerities. And as a result of his sadhana, when his mind got attached to God, that is when God sent the Viman to take him away. So it is wrong to say that he just said Narayan and his work was done. He did bhakti. As a result of bhakti, his work was done. Now come to the second example of Ratnakar. It is agreed that Ratnakar was a big sinner. The name Ram was not coming on his lips. On the other hand, look at Ratnakar's faith and surrender towards his Guru. When Guruji said, sit down here and say Mara Mara until I return, he did exactly that. He did not use his intellect, Guruji, how long will it take, when will you come, etc. Whatever my Guru has said, that is exactly what I have to do. He continued sitting in that posture for thousands of years. He did not get up from there. He did not go for easing himself, for a little refreshment. He continued sitting for thousands of years. His body dried up. Termites made a home in his body. Termites are called Balmik in Sanskrit. That is why he got the name Balmik. And then finally, when he got up, he was a God-realized saint. So what made him a saint? Not just saying Mara Mara. It was the surrender to the Guru's instructions. Think what great faith he had. The Guru may explain to us in 100 ways. Still, we are not able to do the Sharanagati. The buddhi goes, but why, but why, but why? And look at Ratnakar's sanskars from past life. That when they awoke, he did complete surrender. So the rule in the spiritual realm is you do surrender and you receive the grace. Ratnakar surrendered. He became a beneficiary of the grace. It was not merely the saying of Mara Mara, but the great surrender he did. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Om ityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mamanusmaran yah prayati tyajandeham sayati paramangatim. At the time of death, one who takes my name plus remembers me will attain the supreme abode. Now think, is it possible for an ordinary person to take the name of God at the time of death? Before death, a person becomes unconscious. This death is such a painful experience. It is as if the scriptures say 2,000 scorpions are biting you at the same time. Now, nobody is able to tolerate that much of pain. And that is why they faint unconscious before death comes. Consider one person is lying on the ground and some thugs are hitting him with a stick. He screams, "Don't beat me, don't beat me." They hit him 9 times. On the 10th time, he becomes unconscious. What happened? His antahkaran, his heart, had a limit to which it could tolerate pain. The moment that limit was passed, he became unconscious. That limit is different for everyone. Somebody will become unconscious in the first blow. Somebody will become unconscious in the 50th blow. But the moment that limit is crossed, the mind and intellect stop working. And the pain of death is many times more than that. So who will remain conscious when death comes? Janam janam muni atana karahi antaram kahi avat nahi. The Ramayana says, big yogis and munis try that at the last moment I should take the name of God. Antaram kahi avat nahi. They are not able to do it. We people also try. Dadaji, grandfather, is going, put the Bhagavad Gita on his chest, put Sri Krishna's picture in front, sprinkle Ganga water in his mouth. Somehow or the other he should say Ram Nam. But how will he say it? Because at the time of death he will be unconscious. The only person who can say Ram Nam at the time of death is that person who consciously leaves the body. That is the God-realized saint. In other words, somebody who is Vide, who has gone beyond the body. So the God-realized saint is conscious. He is gone beyond the pains and pleasures of the body. So no matter what the pain, he is Vide, he is in consciousness. Now such a God-realized saint, at the time of death, he may say Ram Ram, he may say Mara Mara, he may say Om, or he may even say Gadha Gadha. He will still go to Golok. Why? Because he is already attained God. Bhagavad Prapti happens during your life, not when you die. When you die, you only get the fruits of your actions. There is no plus minus that happens at the point of death. In other words, through your life, you need to remember God, and then you will get the result at that time. Hence, to think that you just chant the name and you will get the results is a wrong understanding. So Kripaluji Maharaj says that you chant the name, but don't do Naam Aparad. What is this Naam Aparad? Keeping material sentiments to the name. Instead of that, when you say Radhe Govind, you think that Radharani is sitting in her name. When you say Krishna, think that Krishna is sitting in his name. With those divine sentiments, when we take the name, we will then get the divine benefit. In other words, mere Kirtan is not enough. Along with the Kirtan, we have to attach the mind as well. So Kripaluji Maharaj talks about this in the next verse.